Happy Tuesday. It's a pleasant day on the Gulf of New Mexico. And as I was paddling today, there was one set of problems and solutions that came up to me. You're having problems with church. And there's some reasons for that. And it's missing things. We're just going to go through a little list. Number one, church is supposed to be infused with the supernatural. The last thing that Jesus of Nazareth says to his people is don't do anything, don't go anywhere until you have power from on high. And they had been watching a supernatural visitor heal entire towns filled with people day after day. That's huge. That's enormous. They were watching a non-stop miracle show coming from a supernatural visitor of the highest order. So he says, first of all, church is operating in supernatural powers. That's not the end all and be all, that's not all of it, but that is the punctuation. Both Yeshua and the super rabbi say, look, if you don't believe what I've got to say, at least believe the supernatural powers that I am able to display. If you don't believe what I have to say, at least believe or be concerned or have an awareness about the supernatural powers that I'm displaying. So one, church is supposed to have supernatural powers connected with it. Number two, it is to be an atmosphere of transparent honesty, where there is a deep concern for even the slightest lie or foolishness, because we have been connected with a supernatural visitor direct from the spirit realm. So number one, supernatural powers displayed, and we are responsible to be supporting a team of people who are going out displaying supernatural powers every day. The proof of that is Peter saying, look, I don't even have time. I should not even put my mind toward normal administrative duties for the group because my shadow is causing people to become healed. So if you're in a church atmosphere where the supernatural is not displayed, and if you're in a church atmosphere where there is not a team that's actually out on the street today in your ordinary town, moving the miracles of God connected with your home today, night and day, on the computer and on the street. At this point, you can touch people's lives just by interacting with them and sharing a video, even somebody that you've never seen before. So the operations in the supernatural, proving that Yeshua of Nazareth is a supernatural visitation of the highest order from the other realm. So, supernatural powers, you're having church problems because you're not operating supernatural powers, and if you have seen your supernatural powers, you haven't set up a program where your little honesty communion group has a team of people that's out there on the street today. And then, the reality of being honest with one another about your past life, the things that you tend to be repetitively sneaky negative or weak in, and also the discernment of what troubling spirits may actually have not been removed from you. There's a couple of areas in our lives where our buttons continue to get pushed and we tend to have a bad operation and bad behavior. honesty about the past, about the present, and about a recurring presence of an unclean spirit of some sort. I mean, the fun part is this. You don't get to be Jesus. You get to point to him. So that means that tons of negative behavior, tons of ways that you used to be may be removed, but there may be a way or two that does not get removed. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, I believe it is, where Paul says, hey, I've had all these supernatural experiences, and in order to make me humble, God has allowed an unclean spirit to remain in my midst that caused me to perform in a stupid way, and I have to celebrate my weakness. It's like, okay, you guys, guess what? I have to be happy about the fact that I don't get to be Jesus, and I'm really weak in these two areas. Don't expect me to perform well. Hold my hand, put me on a leash. If I have to head in one of these directions, somebody should be with me. So he's celebrating his weaknesses to his friends in order to receive protection. It's nice. So, if you've got great pastors and apostles and prophets and people like that, if they do not reveal to you boldly as a high order and a high priority their own weak areas, if that is not one of their entry communications with you, then I question as to whether they are really like an apostle, because it seems that is the performance of an apostle. And remember, if you look at Acts chapter 6, verse 8, and Acts chapter 8, verse 6, 6:8 and 8:6, you discover that two very ordinary people, Stephen and Philip, they are not apostles, they're nobody fancy, their lives are punctuated by miracle signs and wonders. So those are just a couple of things. This is why you're having problems in church. Part 1.